Hey, welcome all you crypto traders. So one of the cryptos I continuously get requests for to do technical analysis, even during this whole bear trend, is Cult DAO, yours truly. And actually, it is one of the few altcoins that I have remained in a holding position on. I'm about to explain why. Let's jump to the charts. So here we have, I think the last time I did technical analysis on Cult DAO was this descending wedge, which was bullish, right? And we did pop up and above and met our target actually almost precisely. I don't have it drawn out there. Now I do. Let's just decrease that thickness. Oh, that was the wrong one. Okay, thickness of this red line a little bit because it's not quite deserving of that thickness. But anyways, all right, so we had ascended up and hit our targets there, and then the whole Luna fiasco happened. And honestly, guys, I've had this level drawn on my chart at 0.0000 1288. You can draw that on your charts if you're watching for a significant level to trade in or out of. 1288 with 4 zeros in front of it is it. All right. And so the reason why I'm going to explain why I've held this whole time is relatively Cult DAO has actually remained surprisingly strong. And it must be due to the fact that it's got a very loyal base of consumers. Is that the right word for it? Propagandist? No, I've heard good things about Cult, and I know that many people have explained the tokenomics are good, etc., etc. I do technical analysis, so I don't necessarily look into the fundamentals a tad bit, but I hear that from mostly my subscribers. And I'm watching from a technical perspective why I should hold this or why I should trade in and out. So let's do some a little more charting on this if we can. To do so, what I'm going to do is zoom into the 4-hour chart here and show you something that I have found on a longer time range. Okay, so see the top of this wedge here? If we get a trend line going, you can draw from the body high. See that red candle up there? I know you can barely see it on the video, but draw that down and you can see, this is interesting, and actually technically very precise and perfect. We broke above this trend line. And once we did, those of you who are not familiar, I know I have many Cult DAO followers and subscribers. That is the reason you joined the channel. And quite honestly, that's the reason I'm doing the video for you, because I've had so many requests for it. So we broke above this descending trend line, and it continues to surprise me how technically sound Cult DAO is. It has not varied like Bitcoin has and gone against probability of what the pattern suggests. Bitcoin has done that twice now within the past month. But Bitcoin, again, has become institutionalized. Cult DAO is a very new movement. And so it's going to follow more closely, more honestly, and more accurately the psychology of its market. And so what we did is we broke above that trend line, and what we like to do, I mean, I don't know what the percentage of the time is, but it's just been my experience to see this. We break above these trend lines. We like to come back down and test previous resistance. Okay, so that descending purple trend line was previous resistance, now becomes support. So we want to test it to see how strong it is. So that's what we did right here. Touched it precisely, and then we are off to the races again. All right, came back down, touched our support, which I have mentioned already, at 1288 with 4 zeros in front of it, and now we're up again. And this looks like right now, these last 3 candles on the 4-hour look to be a bull flag. See this right here? All right, so I do expect, and this correlates with the data that I'm seeing on the other charts in the broader markets, that over the next week or two, we will see more buying on the altcoin market, in Bitcoin, in crypto markets in general. And so Cult DAO would be no different, no exception to that. And I expect us to move up here. All right. So what is my target going to be? This is just a short video, but if I'm expecting this to move up along with the rest of the crypto market, I would look to this 1981 level, which was the wick high over here on May 22nd, and also we have lots of support over here. Actually, this line goes all the way back. So we have a pivot way over here in April as well on that line. That is a significant support. For that reason, I should just thicken it just a bit. And you guys might want to draw this in on your chart as well. Now, many of you cultists, is that what I call you, are not necessarily traders. You guys are buy and holders, and you're just wanting to know what the future looks like for Cult DAO. So this is my short-term prediction. When I say short-term, again, I have to clarify for newbies in the technical space. Short-term for me as a swing trader is 2 to 3 weeks. Could be as short as a day, could be as short as a week, but generally it tends to be 2 to 3 weeks. Midterm projections would be 2 to 3 months, and longer term projections would be it could be years or many months. All right, so I'm saying shorter term, and that's because in the crypto space, if you view my last video on Bitcoin, I am expecting a bit of a bounce here, possibly for Bitcoin to go up to 36,000. It remains to be seen. We have to do some things. We have to break previous highs on the daily. You just have to watch that video to see what has to happen for us to get to 36,000. So we don't have any indication we're going there yet, any confirmation, I should say. But we can have that if we break our previous highs on the daily on the Bitcoin chart. Do I have the Bitcoin chart here? No, not in this list. I could jump over there, but for the sake of time, I will not. My target, if Bitcoin breaks that previous high on the daily. All right, I'm going to jump there real quick. All right, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Here's the Bitcoin chart. And what I'm looking to do is break this previous high here on the daily. See, we broke out of this wedge, went up to 32,160. That is significant. If we can break above that level on the daily, so I'd have to zoom out to the daily here. All right, and then zoom back in so you can see where we're at. We'd have to break above that with a daily candle and then confirm by forming a new candle. And that would tell us that we most likely would go to that 36,000 price point before I have to reevaluate. But we are in bearish territory under this black ascending line. That means the trend is our friend. And so I would say before continuing down, unless the market decides to tell us otherwise. And we'd have to wait for a break above 36,000 for us to get that confirmation. So that being said, if Bitcoin does break previous highs here, all right, at 32,160 and continues to 36,000, then we can safely say that on Cult DAO, we could go up to that 1981 mark with 4 zeros in front of it. And that is an increase from our current price of approximately 34%. There you go, guys. That is my technical analysis on Cult DAO. Let me jump over to my concluding thoughts here. All right, so guys, many of you may not like the fact that I am a trader, so therefore you will not like this next statement. Cult has remained in my portfolio purely because of its relative strength in comparison to other altcoins. But any move below that 1288 price point, that level that I have, that bottom level, any significant move below there, I would look to sell. And the reason being is it's going to go lower. It's just going to follow the markets. Now, it has remained surprisingly strong, so it may not go as much lower as the rest of the market, but it will follow the market. And I can almost guarantee that. And so that will very well happen if the market continues to remain bearish. I just want to say, I know you guys are loyalists in the cult movement, but be careful hodling anywhere below that. Watch that level. That is significant. In the short term, the next week or two, provided that Bitcoin breaks those previous highs that I mentioned there on the chart, we will go up to that 1981 mark, which is an increase of about 34%. All right. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay safe out there. Talk to you next.